So, welcome to another episode of Crack the Code, where we look at frustrating patterns in somebody's business, and instead of just looking at what's on the surface, we get to the root of the problem. This video may help you understand what's going on in your business if you're experiencing some frustrating patterns, and if you're hiring people, what to watch out for to ensure that you hire the best. Now, in today's episode is about a growing startup I came across a few years ago. They had a strong product that customers were happy with, they were receiving large orders, and in order to meet demand, they needed money to scale. So they had just successfully raised a second round of funding. The big frustrating challenge in this startup was related to the hiring they were doing post-funding to scale. The COO came to me super frustrated. She was part of training the new hires, but there was a huge problem. It seemed that everyone they hired would either quit after a few weeks or would not have the skills they really needed for the job. They didn't have what it takes and had to be let go. The pattern was hire, train, fire, which equaled to wasting a ton of time and money, both for the COO and, of course, the company as a whole. So here we are looking to crack the code. Why this frustrating pattern of not hiring people with the right skills? And here in Crack the Code, we don't focus on what's visible. On the surface, most would evaluate the hiring process, their applicant pool, interview questions, and more. These could be variables, but they weren't the root cause of the pattern. Because in fact, if we want to change a frustrating pattern and get better results, we have to realize that business is all about how people act. People make up business. Why people do what they do and how they make decisions really drives results. And this, my friend, lies in the neuroscience of the mind. Now, people often think that humans make decisions using logic and reason or act from conscious willpower. But actually, there's a part of the brain that is 1 million times more powerful than logic, reason, or planning. And according to cognitive neuroscientists, 95% of a human's actions and decisions are driven by the subconscious part of the mind, a part we're not consciously aware of. You know, the subconscious mind is like a supercomputer, processing 40 million pieces of information per second and thousands of events at once. It stores long-term experiences, attitudes, beliefs, and values, compared to the conscious mind, which is only 40 bits of info per second and a few events at a time. Think of the subconscious mind like a blueprint, a code, which drives up to 95% of our day and our results. And I get that sounds frustrating, but it's the way it works. It's important to know that the code is written or programmed by many things. Like, for example, our childhood experiences, many of which created beliefs about ourselves or about others or the world around us. It was created by our family and environment, social construct. You know, stress or traumatic experiences also really affect our brains, whether it was recently or back when we were kids. And all of these things created a default neural response. Some programming is positive, producing positive outcomes. Some is limited or negative. The code or stress creates the behavior. This is the cycle of the subconscious loop. And knowing this is key to cracking the code. The subconscious mind is a cornerstone of psychology and research in cognitive neuroscience, but only recently has it been discussed in business media. Here are some articles from New York Times, BBC, Harvard Business Review, and Forbes sharing the powerful role the subconscious plays in business decisions and even market behavior. There's again the 95%. But it's not discussed enough. More and more companies are looking at mindset and mental health, but they are missing the neuroscience of behavior. But you don't have to. You can get a leg up. That's why you watch these videos. This is like mindset on steroids, and it's why I do these Crack the Code videos, because it's time to get to the root of business frustrations that waste time, money, energy, happiness, and fulfillment. And to get the results we want, we have to look at the subconscious. So that's a summary of the subconscious. If you want to dive deeper, there's more information in the description below. So back to the scenario. The startup is hiring the wrong people. They're wasting time, money, and energy. Well, in this situation, the root of the issue is related to the coding of the founder of the startup, because she was a big part of the hiring process. And it's not to blame her or criticize. Every human being has subconscious coding. And in this situation, it was a female founder. And again, this has nothing to do with being female. Every brain, no matter gender, has a subconscious. This founder had accomplished some great things, some great codes. You know, she was building a product that people liked, which is awesome. And she had successfully raised 2 rounds of funding as a female founder in a male-dominated industry. You know, it can be much harder for women to raise money from venture capitalists. So these codes were great. But just like everyone else, the founder also had some coding that was limited or negative. So what was the code related to hiring? Well, with this founder, it was a lack of confidence and ability to find and hire competent people with the traits and the skills that the company needed. The root of the founder's abilities and decisions were influenced by her complicated relationship with her mother. Ever since she was a little girl, her mother was very hard on her. The founder felt like no matter what she did or how hard she tried, she just wasn't good enough for her mom. She always had the need to prove to her mother that she could do it. So her default neurocode developed in her subconscious as a reaction to her mother. Some of the coding created a belief and a feeling around insecure people who were highly competent. These people represented the type of people who would be good enough for her mother, which created a threat. Her subconscious mind was saying to her, I'm not safe for incompetent people. I need to do it myself in order to prove my value. And another experience created a code that said, I can't trust others to do the job right. So as we know, subconscious code creates up to 95% of default behaviors and creates the loop. So what was actually happening was not necessarily the interview questions or the hiring process. It was the default coding of the mind. Now, if you ask most founders whether or not they should hire highly skilled employees, great people, most of them would say yes. They would agree with that statement. It is common advice to founders from CEOs and top innovators to surround yourself with people who have the skills you don't have, people who are smarter and better. But that's the thing about what we think we consciously believe and how our subconscious mind is actually coded. It can be different. There's no way our conscious mind really knows what our subconscious believes or how it's coded. It's under a realm of conscious awareness. So this is why we may say we believe something, but our life demonstrates something different. So these were things the founder didn't know. Was she doomed? No. The beautiful thing is the subconscious can be changed. It can be overwritten and recoded. You just need the right tool. Human behavior doesn't have to be hijacked by any inefficient coding. When we change the code, we change the results, and that's what's great. That is what's empowering. If the founder changed her coding to be like, I'm safe around competent people, I know my value no matter who I hire, I can trust others to do a great job, then many of the default results and behaviors would change. The company would have a blueprint for hiring great people and stop wasting time, money, and energy. Now, in this situation, I don't necessarily have a happy ending to the root of this specific pattern. Typically in the Crack the Code videos, I would share how the subconscious programming was recoded, changing the results and getting better results or what they wanted. Now in this situation, the founder did not choose to go deep into the rewiring of her neural networks, her code. She did, however, choose to go to executive coaching and some form of therapy. And this can be a really great step to talk out emotions. Therapists and coaches can help people identify patterns and issues from childhood. They can recommend new behaviors and goals, but the challenge is that talk therapy and traditional coaching only works on the conscious level of the mind, which is 5% behavior and decision. It doesn't work at the subconscious level. It doesn't change the code. And there may be some modalities within it that can change behavior, but still can take months or years. When you use the most effective tools for subconscious reprogramming, you can change codes within 20 minutes, for example. So since I didn't continue to work with the COO or founder, I wasn't able to keep up significantly on their progress. I don't see that the company is still around today, and yes, that could be many, many, many factors. But I wanted to use this example because it's such an important situation for companies that want to successfully hire and scale after a round of funding. Getting money is the first step, and building a team efficiently and scaling effectively is the next. You want to make sure that those involved in the hiring process are running the right blueprint and that they're able to pick the best people for the job and for them. And founders need to be able to say, okay, I've raised the money, but now I need the best people around me. I need to be coded for success. I need to resolve any negative stress from the past related to people that I considered incompetent and trust people to do the job. If they don't, they're going to get the same result. So if you've just raised money and are scaling, know that you have the power to program yourself and your team for success. If you're fed up with any frustrating patterns that are wasting time, money, and energy, do yourself a favor. Be willing to get to the root of the issue. You don't have to feel frustrated. You are now equipped with the knowledge of the neuroscience of the mind, and you can choose to fix or achieve anything that you want. So if you like these videos, please like and subscribe so that other people can see it and you can stay up to date on new insights. Check out more Crack the Code videos with other business scenarios and other videos related to tips on the neuroscience of the mind and how that relates to business results. Thanks so much. See you next time.